Pacific Theater's Cinerama Dome is a movie theater located at 6360 Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood. It was designed to exhibit widescreen Cinerama films, and it opened on November the 7th of 1963. Today it was a continued leading first-run theater. The original developer was William R. Foreman, founder of Pacific Theaters. It's located inside the ArcLight Cinemas in Hollywood, and the architect was Welton Beckett, which accounts for the ArcLight Theater Cinerama Dome accounts for nearly 300 screens in and around the Los Angeles area, signal more of a tragedy.
This is the main theater right here. Over that way is a theater that they added about 10 years ago.
The dome, reaching over 70 feet in height, is a highly visible on Sunset Boulevard landmark.
And for those of you who don't know, the Pacific Theaters and ArcLight Cinemas will be closing permanently.
But on the outside was an incomparable cinematic environment. The 70-foot high concrete geodesic dome, which sits prominently on Sunset Boulevard near the intersection of Vine Street, is a landmark.
Welcome to Hollywood Happenings. Here's what's happening in Hollywood. The iconic Cinerama Dome, Pacific Theaters and ArcLight Cinemas will permanently close across the area, leaving a gaping hole in the movie industry in Hollywood. The Cinerama Dome as you can see, is part of the iconic history. It is a protected monument. These were built like in 2000 and sometime between 2000. But the Cinerama Dome has been here for years and years. Iconic Hollywood. Cinerama Dome, Hollywood. ArcLight Cinema, a staple in Hollywood for years. They did announce the other day that Pacific Theaters and ArcLight Cinemas will permanently remain closed, leaving a big gaping hole in Los Angeles history. This is a protected monument, but these groups seem to somehow find a loophole in the law. This is Hollywood Happenings. What's happening in Hollywood? The ArcLight Cinemas, aka, and the Pacific Theaters will be permanently closing. The Cinerama Dome is part of the iconic Hollywood skyline. It is a protected monument. And the pandemic is what killed all of our theaters. Again, the ArcLight Theaters and the Pacific Theaters will permanently close. This is what's happening in Hollywood. The iconic Cinerama Dome will permanently close unless we can get a bidder. Somebody sneak in at the last minute to save it, keep it as an iconic landmark. Pacific theaters, ArcLight cinemas will permanently be closed, which will leave a gaping hole in Hollywood history.